Don't waste my time. Don't waste my I can live forever, but I need you.
Welcome back to Honey the Photographers here. We are relaunching our podcast. This is where you'll find tips, tricks, insights. You're able to jump into Pat's brain and pluck out some knowledge that we can share with everyone.
Today's episode is all about the evolution of real estate photography and sort of marketing in general. We've found over the years since we've started back in 2017 that there has been a huge shift, and even just before that, sort of what people did in the past and why people are doing a lot more now. We're going to have a conversation today all about that. So, Claire, where did you want to start with the evolution of real estate marketing?
Yep. Should we start? Since we launched the podcast 2 years ago, I feel like a lot's changed for us, which is all very exciting, and just working out which new areas we want to go into and all that. We could dabble on that, but we obviously won't bore everyone with everything.
A bit of a re-talk about who we are. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, we can talk about that. As we said, Panorama's been around since 2017. Its first conception was part-time, as all great businesses sort of start. We were part-time, doing it on the weekends and working with a rural agent, Ray White at Canberra and Yass, and finding that real estate agents wanted to focus on selling. I wanted to focus on taking photos. He's like, Pat, come along and let's go make magic together. So we went out, did crazy stuff together and learn a lot of different things and processes, a lot of stuff with drones and how to fly them on especially rural properties and capturing amazing moments. And of course, that's shifting. We can talk all about that. So that's where Panorama, the essence of Panorama started. And now we're a full-blown marketing agency. We can do anything from photography and marketing services to graphic design, website conceptions, branding, anything you need to showcase the property you've got for sale. We want to focus on the real estate industry, be that real estate agents, be that developers, be that builders, be that tradies, be that anyone who's in the property space that deals with, at the end of the day, their final outcome being a property, and make magic together. And we've worked with tons of great clients over the years, haven't we, Claire? Making some really magical moments. This podcast is about sharing some of those moments and some of the things we've learned along the way. So come along with a journey with us and let's, chat. Do you want to say anything about who you are, Claire, at all, and your recent achievement in joining the business full time?
I suppose it's the same story. I was your support at home, and then a year ago, after returning back to the workforce after having our child, I didn't really love what I was doing and wanted something different and more flexibility. So I thought, why not jump in full time? Plus, we're going through some big changes. Jump in full time.
And what is your primary role? What do you do at Panorama?
My primary role is operations, but it's all operations. It's the finances, customer service, HR. It's anything that's in the office, back of house.
Claire actually finances it and makes sure that it works and financially makes sense.
Allows you to spend money.
Pretty much. And the new drone or new camera they'd want to go buy. I think we should move on now and talk a bit about the essence of marketing over the years. It's only really come around in the last 10, 15 years or so that real estate marketing is actually become a legit thing. A lot of time, people and agents have been selling to the end of time and they've just taken a photo on whatever device they could. There's no real thought into
just enough to capture something to put online, to put on a listing platform.
Yeah.
And it was very much seen as you could only access it if you're selling a very expensive home, which we know isn't the case. And for us at Panorama, it shouldn't just be the main one person in an industry or a region who has access to great content. It should be able to go to everyone. Some of our clients, obviously, they do have lower value home, but for us being able to train them or help them and give them tips and to say, I know you're just taking an iPhone photo, but look at these key things and that photo will shine.
Yeah, 100%. That's where it's started. People seeing the value that visual assets and imagery are the way to show off a property, but now how can we transition into using marketing from big advertising and standard marketing practices. This is where we found a gap in the market. When we started, there wasn't a lot of people doing it at a high-end professional level to what we do. And now over the years, yes, it's the market has started to catch up a bit, and there has been many other suppliers join the bandwagon, but they hadn't always been there. So why are people starting to see value in it, Claire? I don't know. What do you know how that question? I mean, I know the answer to that question, but
You've lived and breathed it for 8 years, buddy.
so yeah, I think that everyone sees the value of it because it's a no-brainer, right? If a person can imagine their self in a property with visuals and imagery, they can help get it across the line easier. The whole dynamics of how a sales agent has worked or a real estate agent has worked over the years has kind of shifted. It's sort of gone are the days where you share the least amount of information possible and get buyers in the door, and then you talk to them and communicate with them that way. It's now turned into an educated buyer is more informed to make better decisions on whether or not that property
Kind of
is
like how people need those 21, 24
touch points
now.
of brand awareness before they're interested in a brand. And it's no different for property. This is why property marketing has become so popular. There's been a rise in people wanting to sell and buy property over the years. There's a need to get your eyes on the market and get a good price for it. Australia being one of the most expensive places in the world to buy property, and the cost of living, you need to stand out to make sure that you get your property sold. So how do we do that? Well, it fundamentally starts with great photography, great floor plans, great video, great drone work, but it's how all of those individual end products tie together in a complete marketing campaign, pretty much, yeah?
Yeah.
So having all of that as your tool set and trusting and partnering with a person or a company that knows how to make that happen is your best foot forward. What is next?
So let's go back even just before COVID time, there was media, and I don't know if any of you guys have picked up All Homes lately, but it's getting very, very thin compared to what it used to be.
Now, it could be because it's a quieter period and that's just what we're at, but it also could see that the All Homes printed publication may be limited on that. But
I suppose it's also now, since obviously like with COVID, now people they don't have to work in an office. They can work, 2 hours away from the office and they visit once a week kind of thing. So you're getting a lot more buyers from interstate and not just like necessarily the local area. You could have international buyers. You could have people who are like, I want to buy a property in Perth, but I don't have the ability to pick up a local Perth real estate magazine.
Well, that's what I think it's all about, a history of how people are connected in the marketing world.
Yeah, global people are connected, right?
Correct. Like it's gone to the days where to find out information of something, the newspaper or talking to your friend or local colleagues, the invention of the internet changed all that. It changed that in the way that we are now all connected. So how can we...
But I wouldn't say it's like since COVID, when this thing called Zoom that we've had for so long, now finally using it, or like a QR code. How long have they been around?
I've been using them with my first job back in 2010, right? So it's this idea that we've had these technologies because of a pandemic and a global event. We've needed to find a way and adapt quickly in getting information out there. And
I think as well as like a society, we've become more accepting of like technology advances and changes, and for us, like our parents, like they FaceTime us like every day just to talk to our son. I didn't do that with my grandparents, that kind of thing. So I think we're just becoming more accepting, as we're going to get later on, like even AI tools, even some of our older clients use it to help you get a start because you don't know.
100%. There is a lot more in the online space, and you need
a lot more power,
visuals or a starting point to actually get a listing sold these days. It's not like you can just talk to a mate and go, hey, I got this property for you. And then there needs to be some form of visual creation to pitch it to whoever you're doing with whatever type of visual content to make that happen. COVID was the driving force of making that happen. People needed to trust that the visuals they were creating were spectacular enough to get people in the door, the right people in the door, because a COVID person isn't going to spend time in COVID time spending 20 listings because it's just unheard of. So you need to find top 4 that I'm going to go visit this weekend rather than all of that. So awesome.
Well, so next let's talk about the rise of drone video. And then the number one I reckon is most important, it's increased a lot, is social media and agents having their own, I say their own personal brand, like within their agency, because a lot of our clients.
Let's start with the drone. I think that's a great place to start. I've, over my career, used drone now.
Tell us how many years you've been flying.
Yeah, I've been flying for over 12 years. I was one of the first early adopters of the DJI Phantom series. For those of you who are nerding out, right now it's a Phantom 1. That was when you had a manual GoPro attached to the camera, and then it sort of went to a camera and an iPhone, then into a full-blown system that you then use, and now down to the Mavics today. Over time, we figured out that no longer do you need a plane or a helicopter to capture awesome property photos or spaces. World of aerial photography and videography isn't just for big open spaces, large cities, large developments, big rural properties. Now you can pretty much use drone to use any property and see anything from any height and any angle right in the area that you need. So drones have become this amazing tool to showcase local attractions, showcase size of properties, to get places, and we do this countless times with rural properties, to get places where cameras simply can't get to because the terrain is unreachable or whatever it may be, and get some spectacular shots as a result of that. So that's where the drone stuff is sort of gotten to. But so getting on to now, just fixing my pillow, getting on now to what we really came here to talk about, which is social media and the importance of social media as an agent or as any individual business owner, basically looking to have an online presence. Why is social media the most important place to be right now for your business?
I have like so many different answers for that.
Yeah.
But I think first of all, like obviously everyone has a phone. Well, sorry, majority of people these days have a phone or they have a tablet. And it's how we connect. It's how we connect with our friends, our family. We are all spread out across the globe, across the country. As a business, it's so important because it's how you show your services. It's how you show, your achievements, your triumphs, what your challenge was, how you overcame it. And just for people to be able to put a face behind the brand. For us at Panorama, we've relaunched this because we want to be putting a face behind that brand. So when you call up and you're talking to me, Claire, you know who you're talking to, not just talking to some random person.
I think it's the credibility factor, right? People are on these platforms because they're social platforms. They're a place to connect and create communities. Back in the days when social media wasn't around, you'd go chat to your neighbor, your friend, your work colleague or whatever to find out about a business or a place.
It'd be like you talking, like your friend was talking to a friend who's talking to a mum, to an auntie.
Yeah.
And that's how you'd hear about it.
Yeah, but nowadays we can do that all digitally and instantly, and that's where social media sort of comes in. It's a place to connect, verify credibility, and showcase that you are who you say you are. It's not just about the products and services you offer, it's about the ethos and values behind all of that. If a person's looking to use your services, they can relate to, you connect with people basically. And that's why social media exists. So moving into the real estate world, the real estate agents are also finding this very helpful because it's a way of humanizing what they do. That cliche of the sleazy real estate agent who just wants to sell his, grandmother or ice to an Eskimo sort of thing. That those days are completely gone because...
I mean, there is still some of those guys in the market.
Occasionally, but it's about showing the real person behind why these real estate agents do.
And it's also, as you said, like it's humanizing the brand. Like you might be looking to sell your property and you find an agent who has just had a kid, so they know what's important to a family who's had a kid, or they're young, so they're like a first home buyer. So you go, they're a first home buyer. They know what a first home buyer goes through. If a first home buyer is going to an auction, how daunting that can be. If you're someone in their 50s, you've probably been to a couple of auctions in your lifetime, so you know what to expect. So I think it's being able to relate and build that relationship with your agent.
Yeah. So do you want to, I don't know, do we want to go into some tips on what agents should do for their socials, or should we save that for another podcast?
Maybe save it for another podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I would just say every agent should have their own social media account. They don't need to be super strict on personal and business. Like
100%. We'll give some general tips. So thinking about where's your local coffee shop? What areas do you experience in? What did you do on the weekend? What's your family life? What's an achievement that you've done, both personal and work related, that could be all put on your social media channels that helps showcase who you are and what it is that you actually do. Cool. What's next, Claire?
we're going to talk about
AI? Is it AI time?
AI tools, short form video, interactive content.
Yeah, so leading on to the social media stuff, we found over the last couple of years, probably since COVID, that the rise of video is incredibly important. 100% hands
And
down.
I'd say short form video, 30 seconds worth of content.
Max, right?
Yeah.
Because people just lose interest otherwise, right? These platforms are designed to capture the person's attention for as long as possible. What video does is that in a way that's easy and quick to do that. So creating these 30-second short form videos, be it a property, be it a quick reel, be it a bit about you, has to be something that's engaging, has a hook, and that is relevant to drag people in through that sort of stuff.
So like obviously there's, in terms of AI tools, like probably the number one like video editing software for the everyday user, CapCut. Every video you're posting should have a caption on it, because the amount of people who actually watch videos in silence is a lot more than people who watch
I think it's like
videos with
90% to 10%.
Yeah.
It's something ridiculous. People are just scrolling through their phones without sound on, doing a task or working away.
Yeah. You got to think of like mums, like if you're nap trap, things like that, like everyone has their phone generally like low volume. So I think you got to have captions, but obviously like you create a TikTok account and then you can TikTok from CapCut. You then don't have the horrible CapCut logo in the top corner or the InShot logo at the bottom right corner. That drives me insane, because like just pay the $10.
That's a Claire's top
just
tip
get
right
rid
there.
of it. Like it just like
It goes from
loses-
professional to amateur
Yeah,
style.
It just
Yeah.
loses so much like professionalness in my opinion. I'm like, come on, like this extra like 2 steps.
Yeah, 100%. So I think where this is all leading is sort of where's next for real estate marketing, and we keep throwing this word AI around. What do you see the next 5 years, 10 years looking like, Claire, in the real estate world for AI, and where is it going to go?
I reckon there's going to be some like amazing improvements. I reckon we're going to see a lot more of an increase in just like AI tech, like being able to, I don't know, maybe like hold your phone up and do like a 3D walkthrough tour, like in your house, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's about how AI is helping get access to information even quicker than before. Google search was step 1, but what's beyond Google search is step 2. Having an AI bot that can search the web instantaneously and give you exactly the answer you're looking based on the question you give it, that is hugely valuable. From, finding contacts of real estate agents, to editing photos the AI can do now, to finding out values of property from multiple sources based on 6, 10, or 12 months worth of data, to be able to AI to quickly reference that and then give you a more accurate description to help you sell property. AI is already starting to write ad copies for real estate ads and listings, even more so now, and using it to be a quick tool set in the tools that we already use every day, and using it faster so we can transaction faster and at the end of the day get the dollar that we need to get it sold.
And like on transacting faster, it's like giving the people and giving, the purchaser the information they need quicker, and not having to wait for an agent to go and find out, what is this countertop, or what is the square meterage, or the school zoning, or anything like that. The purchaser is more empowered to make an accurate decision.
100%. And that's at the end of the day what we're trying to touch on here, is how can we inform a buyer or a potential buyer quicker to make a decision that can help get that property sold and across the line. Because if it's a property they're interested in, they're going to snap it. If not, they're going to just flick on and go next from there. Every property has a buyer. Every property has an audience. I think another place that AI is going to boom in is this Apple Vision Pro. I put one on the other month and was absolutely blown away by what it can do. Not in the next 5 years, maybe 10 to 15 years. I see people doing virtual tours of homes without ever stepping foot in it until they get the keys handed over on settlement. Yeah.
Right now you can do the Matterport, but being fully immersive in the virtual tour,
Yeah.
I think is a different thing.
It might be.
Possibly.
Well, it's like QR codes and Zoom. It was there. The technology is there. It's just finding
It just
the
takes,
output.
correct. It just takes some event to happen for everyone to like flock to it, to actually want to build it and generate it and get it up.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think that ties off episode 1 relaunch of Honey the Photographers. As you can see, there's some really great tips. We're only touching the surface, really, of all the stuff that I think we want to talk
just
about.
Episode 1.
Yeah, this is just episode 1.
I wrote out 10 episodes this morning.
Oh, you went out 10 episodes this morning. So we've got a lot of podcasting to do over the next couple of months. So thank you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one.
Which is, the next topic is about rentals and why they deserve some love.
Oh, I like that topic.
Yeah,
we'll see you
everyone forgets about them. Like the hidden gem.
We will see you next time for rentals.
See ya.